Now, I have a lot of topics to get through because I see this with my clients all the time. So one of the things is good. This is for females now, okay? What I notice all the time with my female clients, when I get new female clients, all right, weighing scales. Weighing scales are, you should just get rid of weighing scales. They are the devil because people do not know what they are looking at, okay? They're looking at a number and they don't know what that number means, okay? So I wonder, can I share a screen here with you? And I'm going to show you a video which will explain a lot, which I have on Instagram, okay? So give me 2 seconds, you know. I like to add comedy to my videos, but I break things down simple. This should explain a lot for you guys.
You guessed it, weighing scale. Weighing scales are the reason people fail on their weight loss goals. Because you are not qualified to understand a weighing scale. The only person who can read a scale and tell you how you're doing is a PT. Definitely not your slimming club coach, Bridget. Spent the last 20 minutes before her weigh-in taking a dump. Must get it all out of the weigh-in. Everyone who relies on the scales, this might look familiar. Just before you weigh in, you get the slow creeping fear of the weigh-in. Please be down, please be down, please be down. Up a pound. No! I'd like to order a large pizza, please. Hey, my. Look familiar? Women, sorry, you're the biggest culprit to this, but this is not your fault. It's the fault of these slimming clubs all over the world who created this issue with scale. I'm going to show you why scales are irrelevant and you don't know how to read them. First off, we're going to check what weight I am. Now, step up the scales and drink these 2 glasses of water. Oh, God, it's a lot of water. Okay, 2 glasses done. Back on the scales. Okay, and on again we go. About 2 pounds in weight in just 30 seconds. Difference here is, I know that 2 pounds is water. To one of these great slimming clubs and step up on the scales, and what are they going to say?
They even stick to the plan. Look at that. 2 pounds up, you're rocking. Great. Down there now. Fucking on the board step for yourself.
Scales don't just measure fat, they measure blood, skin, muscle, bone, organs, everything. It cannot read your body composition. What that means, it cannot tell you how much water's in your body, how much fat you have in your body, how much muscle you have in your body. That's telling me I'm 18 stone, which in medical terms, I'm morbidly obese. I must store it all in my bingo wings. Okay, I'm going to list off why your weight will go up. Women, week before your period, your body's going to store a lot of water, good few pounds. Some women can store up to 10. Also, the more muscle you put on, the heavier you're going to get. You had a salty meal last night, more water stored. On and on, the list is massive. What I recommend for tracking your fat loss. Firstly, if you're not doing it with a PT and you're doing it by yourself, pick up your scales and fuck it out the window like a frisbee. Take body measurements with a tape. These are consistent. Buy an item of clothing that does not fit. Try it on again in 4 weeks' time. It'll keep getting looser. Take pictures weekly and compare after 4 weeks or 8 weeks. Time and patience. It took time to put the fat there. It's going to take time to take it off. Stop looking for shortcuts because there are none. There's no magical pill. Good diet and exercise. That is the only way. Anyway, that's it for another episode of Things That Make You Go.
Okay, so that is one of the videos I have on Instagram, okay? Because I had to make a video because people are so reliant on weighing scales. Now, there's something else I forgot to mention in that, which is I said good diet, good exercise, but also sleep, which is another massive one. But the main issue when I see 98% of the time, it's women because they might start a diet at the end of the menstrual cycle, so they'll have 2 to 3 good weeks. Ovulation your testosterone is up a bit, that's when you're going to be training at your best, okay? And they feel great. Next thing, a week before your period, you start to store water, okay? Your estrogen goes up, okay? Your progesterone starts to rise slightly, water storage. Now, someone steps on the scales, they see they're up weight, and what happens? Boom, head mess, okay? Because they don't know why it's gone up. Now, this should be taught in schools, okay? And this is kind of the breaking point where a lot of women fail on diets, because they just say, well, to hell with this, I just follow this diet, and look, I'm going nowhere, and they just quit, okay? Without knowing that, yes, you will store water, and I've seen women go 10, but even last week, one of my clients stored 14 pounds of water, okay, and she lost it this week in her weigh-in this morning. So that's a lot of water. And the biggest telltale sign before your period is, as I said in that video, take body measurements, okay? The hip and the waist are the best body measurements you can take to judge fat loss. Weighing scales, if you have an issue with weighing scales, you should, like I said, out the window. Get rid of them, okay? Best place to judge is your hip and your waist, right? Now, sorry, phone, turn it off. Men, the reason it won't change with men, you see, like with women, it's like going down a stairs 2 steps and taking 1 step up. It is harder for women to lose weight, well, or to see the loss in weight, okay, because of hormones. Now, a lot of women will say, I am on contraceptive, or I have a coil, or I'm on a tablet. It does not matter, okay, because your body is still going to go through a cycle of water retention, okay? So being on contraceptive, it's not going to change anything. You're still going to put up water and drop. How you will notice is when you take measurements, is if you take a measurement around your back and around your bust, okay? So around here, around the chest and around the nipple, you will notice your chest will stay the one measurement for 2 to 3 weeks until the week before your period. Your chest might rise by an extra inch or 2. That's how you know it's coming in. I have an extensive list for my clients that they have to measure, and really from the numbers, they can tell me all the lies they want if they want. I know from the numbers I can read them and say, you're lying to me. Okay, I can read the body, numbers don't lie. Okay, so that's for women. For men, weighing scales can have a bit more relevance because our main hormone is testosterone. Now, with us, testosterone just declines with age, okay? We don't get a rise in estrogen like women do, and after a night of drinking, a man will, because alcohol converts to estrogen and makes you store water, okay? So that's why I just say I feel sorry for women, because we men really do have it easy when it comes to fat loss, okay? So another issue I want to get into is facts versus fiction, okay? Now, I have a lot of this on my Instagram, a lot of videos where I went after companies, and if any of you ever heard of Misfit Skinny Tea, I hope the owner isn't on this watching. If you are, hi, remember me? I sent her a message. It was a tea basically to say you can burn fat, and said it did not contain any laxatives. Now, I read the ingredients and it had magnesium citrate, which is a laxative. So I sent her a message on Instagram and I said, look, you're lying. You have magnesium citrate in your product. She sent me a load of laughy faces and told me to get lost. So I've lost the camera. Hold on. On my back, camera. Ah, there we go. Sorry. Okay, so after she told me to get lost, I just said, that's fine. And I did a scientific report, sent it to the Food Safety Authority, and they banned her from selling it in Ireland. If you're going to lie to people, see, this is what drives me demented. And there's been a lot of, I've been on a lot of newspapers because of calling out these companies. I am straight to the point, I am factual, and I'll tell it how it is. Okay, so that's why I've caused a lot of controversy. But if you're going to be a company and you're going to pick on someone's emotions, you know that person wants to lose weight. You know a lot of them will do anything and have tried every product. And look, we've all been there. My generation, like ab toners. How many bought ab toners when you were like, I didn't have internet when I was growing up, okay? Dial-up, I say, came in around when I was 10. We didn't have internet. It was books. Ab toners, we knew nothing about. We'd throw them on and sit there and be, yeah, until you actually look at the science behind it and realize it's that totally crap. Oh, what's that noise? Oh, it's that, okay. Anyway, so what I'm going to get into is there's no product on the market that will burn fat, okay? It's impossible. It's impossible for you to take a supplement, okay, that will melt fat, okay? Look, you see on stage, you have people who go on stage or people in that industry, they might use, like, this camera is wrecking my head. There is, yeah, there's a lot of people in the industry and they might go for illegal supplements like a clenbuterol or something like that, where they say it's an asthma medication and it will help bring up your core body temperature by 5%. Why would you want to bring it up by just 5% and go around rattling for the day? No, it's ridiculous. There is nothing on the market for sale. It's impossible to buy anything to metabolize fat because fat needs to be oxidized, okay? It needs to leave your body the exact same way it went in, okay? So, fat, without getting too scientific, okay? Fat goes in, is stored, okay? When you are in a calorie deficit, your body will release a hormone, which will grab bits of fat, bring them out, convert them to energy. Now, look at our bodies and look at a car. We are like a car, okay? And this is my analogy to explain metabolism. So we take energy from that, and what's left is a byproduct. Hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. Fat leaves through your lungs. That's where fat leaves, through your lungs, okay? It does not leave through your sweat, which when I see PTs saying sweat is fat crying, it's just, oh, holy God. No, sweat is not fat crying. Sweat has to leave through your lungs, okay? I'll just check this. So, sorry, I keep getting stalls here on this thing. Ah, there we go. So, fat leaves through your lungs. Now, the other side of it is metabolism, okay? People don't understand. Metabolism is actually one of the main things people in this industry have confused and told lies about. Number one is you cannot kickstart your metabolism, okay? I am going to whack this camera off the wall. You cannot kickstart your metabolism. If you had to kickstart your metabolism, you'd be dead, okay? Your metabolism is always there. Right, so this is where I said a car. Compare yourself to a car. You get into a car and you turn on your car. What's there? You have a rev counter, okay? It ticks over at around 1,000 revs per minute, whatever. That's your Bmor, okay? That's your basal metabolic rate. That's how much fuel that car needs to do nothing, just to keep the engine alive. Sitting there in one spot. Exact same with your body. Bmor, sitting here like a sloth, just doing nothing. what my body requires to keep my organs functioning. Okay, now that equates to 70% of your calorie burn throughout a day. Right, now, how do you speed up your metabolism? Can you speed up your metabolism? Genetically, you are stuck with wherever it's ticking over. That's genetically where you're stuck with, okay? You can temporarily speed up your metabolism. How? When you drive a car, what do? You push your foot in the pedal, it adds more fuel to the engine, rev counter goes up. It's the same thing with your body. Any movement you do, it's going to use fuel, your rev counter, your metabolism will go up. When you eat food, the thermal effect of food, your metabolism will speed up a bit slightly. When you start doing movement, any exercise at all, your metabolism rises because why? You need fuel. So your metabolism will rise to help you create fuel to feed you for the exercise. When you stop and you sit down again, your rev counter goes back down, okay? Back to your Bmor. Okay, so can we change our resting metabolic rate? Yes, we can. The battle we have against us since we were born is human growth hormone. When you were born, your human growth hormone is huge, okay? From the back, the pineal gland, okay, creates the human growth hormone. You get a growth spurt up to the age of 20, then you stop growing. By the age of 30, we have 30 to 35, we have lost 70% of our growth hormone. Okay, it just declines. That's how we get old. If it didn't drop, we would live till we were forever, if you were, or till you were 200 or 300. Okay, but as that drops, so does your metabolic rate or your resting metabolic rate. They all are interlinked, just like insulin. Same thing. It's all interlinked, all these hormones. So how can we speed up our resting metabolic rate? We have to work our type 2 muscle fibers. Now, the difference is, okay, so you know, MoFar, long distance runners, they work on the type 1 muscle fibers. These people are usually skinny type of people. They can go for long distance and they'll use energy systems, more likely fat energy systems. Then you have people like The Rock, type 2 muscle fibers. That is from hypertrophy training, so working, doing weights. Now, these are bigger fibers. They store more fuel. By doing that, you will get heavier, and it's not fat. People panic and people think, oh, I'm going to get heavy, I'm going to get heavy. You're not getting heavy with fat. More than likely, you're getting heavy with glycogen storage, which I'll get into in a second. Okay, so because these are a bigger muscle, you are tearing these muscles every time you do a workout. You have to repair, your muscles become inflamed, so you get what's called an afterburn. Now, this can last anything up to 36 hours, which means while repairing, what does your body need to repair? It needs fuel. So you will burn calories for up to 36 hours repairing your muscles. Okay, so if you put weight training and going for a run, cardio, side by side for 1 hour exercise, in 1 hour, you use up your blood sugar, you use up your glycogen storage, then you start using fat. In that 1 hour, you would probably burn more fat going for the run. But the minute you sit down, when you go home and you're finished your cool down, you've stopped burning fat. Once your heart rate goes back normal. But after the weight session, you stay burning fat because you have to recover. Okay, so that's why weights are always better. Okay, and what happens, the more of the type 2 muscle fibers you build, the more calories you can eat, the more calories you burn because you're using more. Okay, so this is how people are able to move up. When I'm not that size now. I was 120 kilos here at 5% body fat. Now I'm 100 kilos at 5% body fat. Good old lockdown has me torn to bits. But like, even at that, I was eating 7,000 calories a day. I'm not training like that anymore. I'm trying to keep my type 2 muscle fibers high, but with nutrition, I'm keeping shape. So, but I'm down to just 3.5 at times. So you have to constantly watch your body. But by working them muscle fibers, your rested metabolic rate will come up because you've added more muscle mass. So basically, you've turned that 1 liter car into a 1.6. Does it make sense? I hope so, okay? I hope that kind of breaks that down a bit. Can you damage your Bmor? Yes, okay? Now, this is what drives me demented. I can't hold back sometimes. So I lose the plot and have a rant on Instagram and, hey. Fad diets, and a lot of you are probably victim to them. A lot of you seen them. A lot of PTs, okay, number one, a PT is not qualified to give you a nutrition plan. A nutritionist needs to have a bachelor's degree or higher. Okay, so it takes 4 years of studying nutritional science to become a nutritionist. I was a PT, I did it in Cork, and look, you do a few hours of basic nutrition, and I see some guys coming out and they're giving people plans then and saying they're nutritionists, and I've asked PTs, why are you telling people this and why are you giving them plans? Because everyone else is doing it. And that's the problem in Ireland, the industry is not regulated. So all you can do is inform people and let them make their own decisions. So I inform people of what is right. So I've seen what a lot of PTs will do is they will put you on 1,200 calories. So let's just say your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, which is how much you burn throughout the day, including your exercise, is 2,000 calories. And this PT comes along and puts you on 1,000, drops you by 1,000 calories, okay? So your TDE is up here and your food consumption is down here. Now, the body can handle or can metabolize up to around 500 calories worth of fat a day. That's why it's kind of safe to put people on a 500 calorie deficit. When you put someone on a 1,000 calorie deficit, what will happen is you're eating down here, the body cannot keep up with the output that you are doing, okay? So what it does, it says, well, we need to survive, so let's drop functions that we're not going to use as much and slow them down to compensate. And your body will slow down to compensate with what it's taking in. And this is with idiot PTs. I'm not saying all PTs are idiots, I've said these idiot PTs and fad diets, right? So your body slows down, and here it is. Usually the first place it's going to slow down is the brain is going to slow down because that uses 80% of your carbohydrates. So the brain is going to slow down. You're going to get lethargic. You're going to be cranky. You're going to hate your boss. You're going to, yeah, look, it's not nice. So what happens again? That will happen after 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. So for the first 4 weeks, you're there going, this is great. This is fantastic. I'm losing a load of weight. Okay. First week, you're going to lose a lot of water because you're depleting your glycogen stores. Second week, yeah, you will have a bit of fat loss. Third week, bit of fat loss, and then your Bmor is going to start dropping. It's going to drop to compensate. When you go back to the trainer and you've realized you've plateaued because your Bmor has dropped, the trainer will blame you. So, puts it back on you. All they want is a quick fix so they can get a photograph. That person cannot sustain that, okay? It's about sustainability. They can't sustain that, so what happens? They go back eating normal again. But the Bmor is still here. They start eating normal again. This is their calories. It'll take up to 3 months for their Bmor to come back to normal if it goes down like that. So for that 3 months, while this is slowly coming up, they're storing fat again quickly. So that's why you always hear, I put on fat, or like people put on fat, or even double after a fad diet. Okay. Now, I don't know how many, the amount of fad diets that are out there. Like, I think that Dr. Oz guy, if you ever seen him in the States, I don't know how he's allowed to stay a doctor with the amount of crap he has up. He even had a thing up about sunglasses, blue tinted sunglasses to help you lose weight, because he said food doesn't look appealing when it's blue. If I'm hungry, I will eat anything. It doesn't matter what color it is. Okay, but there's so many fads out there. Anyone who's listening to this who is a PT, and from some of your pictures I can see some of you probably are, don't get sucked into things like Juice Plus or Forever Living or any of these things for fat loss. If you want to say and make your claims about oh, good for the skin, this, that, and the other, fine, you can say that. I've already done reviews on all these products. But making claims about weight loss, no. The body has to abide by the laws of thermodynamics, and there is nothing you can take that will change the laws of thermodynamics. And the first law of thermodynamics in basic functions, which every one of you have heard if you're a PT, is calories in versus calories out. Okay? Energy balance. That's the simplest form. Now, that means in theory, if your output is 2,000 calories and I put you on 1,500 calories of sugar, just sugar and sitting there with a spoon, you will lose fat. The body has to get it from somewhere. It's going to take it from fat. But you will feel like absolute crap, because the second law of thermodynamics comes into play here, which in a simpler form is the efficiency of the fuel. Okay, now thermodynamics applies to mechanical machines, but we are biomechanical machines. Okay, we're not a closed system, we're an open system because we go to the toilet and that, but we still operate as a biomechanical machine. So we have to abide by the second law of thermodynamics. So that's why the food you consume is also important. Now, when I say that, I do not mean you must sit there and eat salad all day, okay? Because I think people have lost their in touchness, if that's even a word, I doubt it, but hey, with what healthy is, okay? Someone will go extreme, will go vegan, some will go all meat. It's like, mine's the healthiest. No, mine's the healthiest. No, and it's just this battle back and forth. Everyone can have their own personal opinion. I just read scientific studies and I will go from what I see. Now, what I see is from what I've read, peer-to-peer studies. Now, when I mean the studies, I don't mean articles. What drives me demented is if someone's trying to have an argument with me online and they say, tell me I need to do my research and send me an article of the Daily Mail or something, and you're just, okay, that's not research, okay? You need to read research papers, okay? So you can take your Google Masters now and, okay, read actual scientific data. And what I see is 80% vegetarian, 20% meat and poultry seems to be the optimum, as what they say. But it doesn't matter how much research I read, and that's the conclusion I come to. Not everyone's body is going to react exactly the same, or it might be optimum for them. So obviously you have to listen to your own body and you do what's good for you. But when it comes to weight loss, there needs to be a balance. Everyone forgets balance. You need people to have sustainability. Sustainability is the key for longevity, right? If I give a client a training program they've never done it before, and I go hell for leather giving them a training program. No, they've never done this before, and then they start training crazy. Can they keep that up? No. First thing you should always do is start slow. You need to find out what the client can keep up when they're finished with you. With food, you have to allow them chocolate. You have to allow them crisps. So we say, for example, one of my diet, like if I'm doing a plan for someone, I will give them 7 options. One option is a takeaway day. So that's, they can eat whatever the hell they want, all right? Now, up to a certain amount of calories. But psychology, the brain controls the body. It's as simple as that. The brain, psychology and fitness, diet, everything. I deal with a lot of people who would eat disorders and so on. They are all interlinked. So if I tell someone they cannot have a bar of chocolate, like it's going to be like Dougal on an airplane, like don't press the button. They're going to be trying to press, like they want it. They'll want the chocolate. Simple as that. You need to let people make their own choices and allow them things. So on one of my plans, I might say, on the snacks, you can have 250 calories, up to 250 calories of anything you want. Twice a day. So that's 500 calories actually they're getting twice a day sometimes. What you want? Chocolate, crisps, I don't care. As long as you stick within the calories I'm giving. People get too caught up on macronutrients when it comes to snacks. And I'm going to tell you straight out, macronutrients when it comes to weight loss or maintenance does not matter, okay? Because the only time macronutrients matter are when you are, if you're an athlete and you 5-6% body fat, or you're going to get on stage. That's the only time when you need to really kind of concentrate on your macronutrients. When it comes to weight loss or maintenance, no, macronutrients are not important. It doesn't matter what way you mix them. What I say is, as long as you keep your protein high enough that your body does not eat your own muscle as amino acids. As long as you get enough amino acids into through the form of food protein, you can mix your fats and your carbs whatever way you want, okay? It does not matter as long as you say. The most important thing is calories. Second most important thing is the protein. Enough protein that you're not eating your own body's protein, okay? That your body isn't trying to rob your own muscles of their amino acids, okay? So what's that? That kind of brings me on then to carbs. And this is something, and I know there's a lot of PTs here, you need to push this out to people that carbs are not the enemy here, right? Now, carbohydrates, low carb diet, I don't mean this in a bad way, I'm a PT myself, but PTs have ruined the fitness industry. We have. And that's from years ago, because one PT will just get notions and think, low carbs, right, all right, let's go low carbs. Doesn't know the science behind it, just cut carbs off people, and then these trends catch on, and trends go on and on and on. Your average Joe Soper, your average person does not know. They're going to listen to you for support. They're going to listen to you and then take your word as fact. So you need to be factual. So why do you put up weight or why do you lose weight when you eat a carbohydrate? Well, when we eat carbs, we all know the glycemic index, okay? Sugar is at the top, breaks down quick into glucose, and then you have the lower down ones, like complex carbohydrates. When you eat carbs, it's converted to glucose, it's into your blood, your pancreas is sampling your blood all the time, okay? We have blood sugar releases insulin. Insulin's job is to send sugar from the blood to the muscles, right? That's the first port of call. If the muscles are full, then it's going to convert it to fat, muscles and liver, then fat, right? When you eat carbs, for every 1 gram of glycogen you store in your muscles, you will store 3 grams of water. And the reason that is because when your body goes to use that glycogen, it needs that 3 grams of water for conversion, okay? That's why someone is up weight. They're eating carbohydrates, they're storing more water, but it's not storing water on the belly, it's storing it within within the muscles. Now, this is where low carb diets had their big fucking hurrah, whatever you call it is. Someone stops eating carbohydrates or goes low carb. What is the body going to do? It's going to use up its blood glucose, and then it's going to use up all the glycogen. If it uses up all the glycogen, it's going to take all that water storage and it's going to take that too. So you're obviously going to be down in weight, okay? And like, what annoys me is when you see people going around, you know, I started my low carb diet there last week and I'm down 7 pounds. Okay, all right, come on, Frank. 7 pounds is not fat anyway for a start, right? Why? Because it's impossible. It's impossible for you to go through 7 pounds of fat in a week. And why is that? And I probably need a calculator for it. Because there is 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. That's why we say 500 calorie deficit a day for weight loss over 7 days is 1 pound of fat. Okay, so if he's saying he lost 7 pounds and he's delighted with himself walking around, if you had to lose 7 pounds of fat, give me 2 seconds, where's my phone? I dropped it a while ago and it is gone AWOL. Okay, anyway, I'll just use the calculator here. Okay, so if you had to use calculator, give me 2 seconds. Okay, I probably typed it in there, did I? No. Okay, I can't find it. Look, if you had to lose, let's and I've seen people coming out of I won't say their names, Slimming Planet, okay, and they will say to their friends, I lost 10 pounds this week, my first week at Slimming Planet. Just trying to make sure I don't get sued here. Yeah, no, you didn't. I'm sorry, Bridget, but you didn't lose 10 pounds of fat. So you're telling me you lost 35,000 calories in a week. So basically, she would have had been in a deficit of 35,000 calories that week. So no eating at all and exercise no, it's impossible, okay? So what you should look at your clients, do not look at the weight. That's the phone. Don't look at the weight. The most important measurement you can go for is the hip and waist. Reason being is that the two areas that will not store or store minimal amount of water. So that's where you take your measurements. If any go onto my Instagram, I have a picture up. If you scroll down, there is a picture of a lady who's a client of mine. She said I could share it. 6 months, her total weight loss was 1 pound. Now, this was a battle with her every week to keep her mind in the game because believe it or not, there's a thing called scale trauma. Our generation, we just relied on scales. We didn't know what was what, okay? Now it's a generation of people looking at the scales and going, but they don't know what it means. It's like going down the motorway and seeing some guy looking with the bonnet open in the car, scratching his head, pretending he knows what he's doing and he hasn't got a clue what's going on in the engine. That's exactly what it is with the scales. They're looking at the scales, they see a number, and that number is going to make them go, or it's going to make them happy. Why? They don't even know what the number means, okay? So a lot of people will have scale trauma, and she had scale trauma. If she didn't see the scale moving, she would be depressed for the day or she would binge. So I made her stop taking weight, and that's what you should do. Always question your clients. If they have an issue with scales, all you need to do is take their weight the first time to find out what their Bmor is, and that you can make out their training program and so on. After that, do not get them to use scales, okay? And as well, people who step on the scales every day, get it out of them, slap it out of them. Stop. Your weight goes up and down. so much. I go up by 4 kilos of weight between morning and evening. Okay, 4 kilos. What's that? Nearly what? That's nearly 10 pounds or whatever. Like, okay, and you lose it next morning, I'll be back down. Okay, and if people don't understand how you lose weight at night, that's going to bring me on to Fitbits. Okay, a lot of you probably use Fitbits, the watches. I know I see a lot of people, friends of mine, who'd be in challenges with Fitbits, and yeah, they'd be just sitting there on the couch like this just to try and win the challenge, trying to get steps up. Okay, apart from that, the stupid use of Fitbits. Okay, what are they good for? Yes, they're good for tracking your steps if you're not one of them people who like to fake track crap. But you need to be wary. When you do a workout and your Fitbit says that you have burnt 700 calories, you need to understand Fitbits, you haven't burnt 700 calories in that workout. A Fitbit is going to give you what you have burnt in the workout plus your Bmor. Okay? So if you didn't go training, and say if it said 500 calories, if you didn't go training, 70% of them calories you still would have burnt anyway. Okay? So if you, now the newer Fitbits have, I can't, like, look, I don't have one, I don't use them, I research a bit on them, but the newer ones will have, I think they work off your heart rate and all that, and they will tell you that how much you have burned during the exercise. Okay? But the majority, 80-90% of them won't. They'll just say 700 calories. Now, for your average individual, looks at that and goes, aha, burned 700 calories there. That's grand. I'm going to eat 500-600 calories. Next thing, they're back over and they're out of a deficit again. To get what you have burnt in the exercise, the easiest way to get how many calories did I burn in that exercise? You look at the Fitbit and it says you've burned 700 calories, take your Bmor out of it. So multiply your 700 calories by 0.3. Okay? What you're left with, that's how much roughly you have burnt during the exercise. Okay? So it's around 200 something, or 180, whatever. Fine. So that's how you will find out how much you burnt if you don't have a Fitbit telling you exactly how much. Right? It'll always include your Bmor. That's why some people say, I think my Fitbit is broken, because when I wake up in the morning, it's not on me, and I put it on and it says I have burnt 1,000 calories already. Why does it do that? Because you did burn a lot of calories, because you were asleep. And when you were asleep, like I said earlier, the car and the rev counter, your body still needs fuel. So it's still going to use energy, and it's still going to release fat or energy, or your organs are going to use your energy, and fat's going to come out your lungs, not projectile vomit, through gas. Okay, now the byproduct, like I said, of fat burning is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay, what the body will do is just up over the lungs is the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. The hydrogen and oxygen will sometimes mix if you don't have a level water balance, and they will mix to keep the body water levels keep homeostasis, to keep the body levels normal, and can go back into your system, but comes out your lungs. But yes, in your sleep you burn calories. You have to, because your body has to stay alive. So when someone says, do this in the morning to kickstart your metabolism, it's like, just shut up. Like, anything is going to rise your, the minute you sit up out of the bed, your metabolism starts to rise because you are moving. Okay? People need to learn exactly, they need to study the body in a way. Look at your outputs. Every year on January, you will hear people say, new year, new me, I'm going to lose all this fat, I'm going to the gym. They will base, like the gym is based in their heads with fat loss. The gym is somewhere to get fit. Your job is to train someone in fitness. It's fitness instruction. Personal trainer for training and fitness. The civilian population, no, I say civilians, sorry, because I'm a soldier, so excuse me if I keep saying civilians, but they don't understand fat loss is in the kitchen, okay? You build up your strength, you build up your cardiovascular fitness. You can build up your type 2 muscles, which allow you more calories. That is done in the gym. But people rely too much, they will focus too much on training. And they will overtrain. Now, when you look at the breakdown of your total daily energy expenditure, what is it? 70% of it is your Bmor. So you're going to burn 70% of your calories anyway doing nothing much, Love Island, right? Then you have 15% is your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is what I'm doing now, wobbling my hands and fidgeting, and any movement throughout the day equates to 15%. Then you have the thermal effective food, which is another 10%. So what's left? You have 5%, which is your EAT, your exercise activity thermogenesis. So if I send you into the bookies and I say 95% chance, 5% chance, what are you going to go for the 5% chance? No, you're not. But people still think that training. So if you were training your clients, you need to get it into their heads. You need to make sure they're in a calorie deficit, that they're not in as much. Don't bring them under 500 calories of a deficit. Okay? You're just going to damage your clients. Make sure they're in a deficit. Make sure they get enough sleep. Why? Because we repair in our sleep. Repairing uses calories. So the more sleep you get, the more repairing you do. And I don't mean be a fucking language, be a sloth and lie there all day, but you need sleep. Up here needs to repair, and the body needs to repair. Okay? This whole people patting themselves on the back because they get 10,000 steps in a day. 10,000 steps is supposed to be your normal anyway. You're supposed to be getting 10,000 steps. Okay? The problem is, if we look at what they say, 2,500 calories for men, 2,000 calories for women, and it's stuck at that. That's where it's been stuck at since whenever that was made, like in the 80s or whatever, or the 60s. Times change, okay? When all this, like 2,500 calories for a man and 2,000 for a woman, when that was made, we were a lot more active, okay? We didn't have as many cars on the road. People walked everywhere. Now we spend our times on our phone, sitting down, whatever. Usually the only activity we do is actually going to the gym, and then we come home and Instagram about it. So you're not as active. Your clients, if your client says to you, well, I'm moderately active, I do 4 to 5 times a week, or like moderately or active, always go one under what they tell you, because generally they will always overestimate their activity. And you do too. I do. I overestimate my activity. Okay, so like 10,000 steps should be a given. You should be trying to get 10,000 steps anyway, regardless. Over 10,000 steps, saying anything over that, then you're kind of going, okay, yeah, I'm getting into a zone now where I'm burning a bit extra or whatever. But patting yourself on the back just because you do 8,000 steps in a day, you're kind of going, it's supposed to be the norm, okay? Now, I understand, I have a lot of obese clients as well, and eating disorders, that's why I did the psychology side of things as well. It is very hard for them to get them steps in. so I will focus on food. They can't get as much steps in as a lot of fit people, so it's no issue, okay? But something else, I don't know, Michael, is this everyone, or is this all PTs, or are you there?
We've got a mixture on, Peter. So there's PTs and then there's clients looking to better themselves as well.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So, like a lot of clients here, or a lot of people here, so it's like you're wanting to better yourself. No one can tell you. No, my first bit of advice is if you're on Instagram and you're following people with six packs constantly, and you're watching all these people who are constantly this one shape, my advice to you is stop following these people. Okay. The reason being is you will compare yourself to them all the time. And I know this because I did. Okay. I am 6'3" and I'm 100 kilos now. I was 120 kilos. Okay. When I was 120 kilos, I still thought I was small. And that's an issue called body dysmorphia. And I suffered for a long time. What it is sorry, you will pick a flaw in your body that no one else is going to see. It's probably not even there, to be quite honest. Half the time it's manifested. And you will just focus on that. And you will not be happy until that's changed or it's gone or so on. With me, my body dysmorphia was, I thought everyone else was bigger than me. I wanted to be big. I thought everyone else was bigger. That affected my family life. That affected my social life. Friends, are you going out drinking the weekend? No, I'm going to gym. Going to gym. And I would spend hours and hours. And then I would stop growing. Why? Because I was overtraining and I wasn't giving myself time to heal. So body dysmorphia is actually a real issue. And some people don't even know they have it. And Instagram, social media, look, social media is brilliant and it's a godsend in one way. I built my business on social media. I now have 6 staff and it's all online I do. And I have 6 staff and I have 700 people weighing in with me every week. All online. That's where it's a godsend, and I can do everything from the comfort of my own home when I'm not doing military stuff. But the other part of it is the lies. Like you could type in anything online, or you'll see things going on social media saying, I even put up a post yesterday about the Daily Mail. They did one story last year, the Daily Fail, saying eggs, you shouldn't eat them, they're high in cholesterol. And then an article a year later, eggs, you should eat them, they'll heal you from this, that, and the other. Okay? Both articles full of crap, okay? Because nothing is going to heal you from stuff anyway, number one, right? There's no food can make a claim that it's going to heal you of something. And the other side of it where it lies is, look, eggs are high in cholesterol, but they have no effect on blood cholesterol. Okay, so if you eat 3 eggs every morning, it will not have any effect on your blood cholesterol. So anyone who says that, no, eggs are no issue, okay? So stop following these people on Instagram who are constantly and just, look, some people on Instagram have fitness beside their name, and there is actually no fitness benefit to any of their photos. They will not give any information. They will not give it, just usually a picture of abs or a picture of someone squatting. And like, give some information if you're a fitness page. Okay? So stop following anything that's not going to benefit you. Okay? You need, time is like money, like currency. You're not going to throw money away. Don't throw your time away. And because I can tell you one thing, and I've trained a lot of people for stage, and I've even done it myself. I got down to 4% body fat, and I was miserable. I do it when I go on holidays. I will get down to 4% body fat. I will take my photographs on the first day on holidays. I'll probably even change my clothes that day, get more photographs, because by the next day, I've no more six-pack anymore, because once the beer goes in, that's it. It's gone again. To keep a six-pack is a miserable lifestyle for a lot of them. And a lot of them you're following on Instagram are paid to live like that. That is their job. If you were paid to do this, then it might be different. But you're not. Okay, you're just looking for information. The other side of it then is the badness of online is the facts versus fiction. So years ago, like I said, we didn't have the internet. We had to rely on books, and or you could sit there for a dial-up waiting for 20 minutes. They're going bong, bong, bong. But now we have the internet. Great, lovely. Type in something. Google warriors as well, though. It's hard for them to distinguish what is real and what is fake. You could type in as the word flat and you're going to get articles about the word being flat. Okay, so how do they distinguish? Okay, never believe news outlets, because an article that you read on something about food or fitness is not fact. Okay, what an article is, and I know myself, I write, I'm a columnist for papers down my area and Tip and that. Articles are abstract. Okay, a journal or someone can write an article without even looking at a study, and I've seen journalists do this. Some of them won't even read a study. I read the studies and then I will write an article. Some journalists won't even read a study. They will just see something else on some other paper's page and copy it. Okay, and there might be no backing at all, but once that's shown around to a few people, it's fact. Okay, one of the biggest things I've seen on this is sweeteners, aspartame, sucrose, all these kind of things, right? You've all probably seen the thing about aspartame giving you cancer. Aspartame is linked to leukemia, all this stuff. I can tell you for a fact, it's not. Cancer research alone have spent over 60 million on research in aspartame alone. Now, what they found in their research is by giving rats or rodents, mice, 100 times the dose over a period of 2 months, that their blood plasma started to show signs of conversion and, leading towards leukemia or other type of cancers. Now, when you look at that in human perspective, that's like sitting there eating like a bag of sugar full of aspartame a day. No one's going to do it. So there's nothing wrong with, if you're someone who's trying to lose weight, there is nothing wrong with 0-calorie drinks. There's nothing wrong with them at all. The aspartame is not going to cause any health problems. Now you have some people try to argue with me and say, oh, but it's bad for the gut bacteria. No, it is if you're taking large doses, which no one is. And I don't think anyone's going to be drinking 5 liters of a diet Pepsi or anything like that, like a day. It's not, right? Now, the other argument people had with me was it converts to methanol. Okay, fair enough. It does convert to methanol, but there is 5 times more methanol in a glass of orange juice than there is in a Diet Coke. So not much of it converts to methanol. So people cherry pick because they cherry pick studies and they pull articles and they send articles at me. Articles are not fact. So any PTs, and not just PTs, anyone looking to better themselves, if you're looking up information, type in scholarly studies and you will find proper information, okay? And don't listen to articles, okay? Aspartame will not give you cancer. Okay, so another thing is a lot of people just want to maintain their health, okay? The other side of it was I had a client ask me, I watched the Game Changers yesterday. I want to go vegan. If you're a PT and you are or a nutritionist, you have to listen to your client, okay? What your client wants is your main goal. It's not what you see your client as, because no one has the right to determine how someone should look. That client, it's their choice how they want to look, and body positivity, when they are happy with their body, that's their choice. You have no right to decide, oh no, you should look like this. No one has the right to decide how someone should look, okay? If someone wants to look a certain way, there's no such thing as a perfect body, okay? So if someone said about vegan, so I will give clients the facts, okay? And which I did on Game Changers. I have it on YouTube and I have it on Instagram, okay? Some people, I have no problem with people being vegan. I'm not vegan because I love meat. I tried doing it before. I've tried every single one. I've tried vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian. Because I'm a nutritionist, I wanted to see how my body would react doing certain things. I think everyone should experiment as well, doing certain things. I think I cracked after about a day and a half because I just love eating meat. I just could not. And the amount of refined food that vegans have to eat. Now, looking at something like the Game Changers has changed a lot of people's minds, but then again, that's another case of cherry picking studies. So I went and looked at the actual studies from the ones they use for the movie or the show. They cherry picked parts out. So they need to look at, so one of their arguments was gladiators were vegan. What they failed to mention is gladiators were slaves. Meat at the time is for rich people. And what they didn't say was gladiators who lived near the coast had fish in their diet. Okay, so gladiators would have been fed whatever was made in that area. If there was no meat present, they weren't going to be given it. Okay, so that was that gone out of the way. Okay. And there's just so many studies that they cherry picked out that was lies, okay? If you read the whole study, like even blood plasma, how much fat is in the blood and all this, and they did it with a taco and all this kind of stuff. When you actually read the proper study and it comes down at the end of the day, no, there was no difference between the meat and vegetarian and vegan. It was a study done not so long ago, well, not so long ago. I think it was 2013 actually, so it was a while ago. Okay, there was 300 people involved. And what they wanted to do was to find out on a calorie deficit, because of this argument of low carb and the other side are no, all meats and fats. They split them in half, 150, and they kept them for 3 months. And what they did was, this crowd, low carb diet, this crowd, meats and fats. The results came in at the end exactly the same. Well, who finished the studies, because obviously a lot of people would have given up, but who finished them, a lot of them came in as both groups lost the same amount of weight because they stayed in the calorie deficit. So it just proves that it's calories is the most important. It does not matter about your macronutrients, okay? Now, when I say it doesn't matter about your macronutrients, still get your protein up over what you need, because protein is brilliant for satiety, but it stops your body eating itself. Protein is important when you're trying to lose fat. It doesn't burn fat, it helps with satiety, and it has a higher thermal effect as well. You burn more calories breaking down protein, but it stops your body eating your own amino acids. For anyone here who wants to bodybuild, okay, protein's not important. It's not that important at all for bodybuilding. And I see like you see it coming out now. It's the Love Island generation. Maybe it's come out of the gym and they're drinking the protein shakes and that's all they're drinking. You're not going to grow. Carbohydrates are what's most important for growth when you're trying to bodybuild. The reason being is it's going to be the first one used as energy. And to grow, what do you need? You need energy. You need fuel. So you need to give yourself fuel. And that fuel then is used to digest your food and repair your body. So protein is important to an extent, but you can get it through your food. You don't need to be guzzling back shakes, okay? Unless you're on what I used to be on 7,000 a day, and you just can't eat anymore. Yeah, throw a shake or two back, but carbohydrates are the most important thing. And I'm going to give you a tip. When you're finished training, you're obviously depleted of blood glycogen, glucose, and glycogen in the muscles. So what do you want to do? You want to use your body's hormones to your advantage. Now, one hormone to use to your advantage is insulin, okay? I already said what insulin does. It sends the blood to muscle. So if you're one of these people now, like I'm not saying don't drink protein after the gym, like, but if you are going to drink protein, get the use out of the protein. And how you get the use out of it is when you finish a hard training session, have sugar. Okay? What you want to do is have something sugary. So, like some people will say, oh, I have honey. But honey is 50-50 fructose, and that breaks down differently. I'll explain that in a minute. But sure, like if there's nothing, a few gummy bears or something, throw them into your mouth. 20 minutes later, 10 minutes later, then have your protein. Okay, leave it go through your digestive system. What happens then is now your insulin is going to spike. And it's going to send the nutrients back to the muscles quicker. Whereas if you just drink protein and you're not taking in any carbohydrates after the gym or any type of sugar, your blood sugar level isn't going to rise that quick because the protein takes a while to digest. You probably suffer from DOMS, like delayed onset muscle soreness, and it'll take longer to repair. And what the body's going to do then is the protein you just drank, it needs energy to repair, is it's going to start using that protein and convert that to energy. By the time you're trying to convert and repair, you don't really have much protein left, yeah, because you've already used it for energy. Get your carbohydrates in straight after training. And I mean like high glycemic carbohydrates. So if you want your sugar, have it directly after training. Then we'll say 10 minutes later, then drink your protein. Okay? And another thing as well, hold on, what about milk with your protein drink? Is there enough carbs to adequately spike insulin? No. Okay, look, there's not enough carbs in milk. There's enough calories in milk, all right. I used to add milk to my protein shakes just to bring up my calories, but there is not enough. You want to be like as sugary as possible. Like I used to actually buy glucose in Dunn's or Tesco, any places. They sell glucose or they sell the glucose tablets. They're made that or Lucozade. If you have Lucozade or anything like that, drink that. All right. Someone else, how about a banana after? Okay, no, you see a banana, right? A banana is high in calories, but you see fruit is a mixture of, it has fructose. Now, fructose does not act in the body the same as sugar, okay? It is a sugar, but it's broken down differently. I think I have 5 minutes left, so I'll say this quick. Fructose is broken down differently, okay? It does not travel like glucose. Fructose is stored in your liver. So that's why it's bad to drink drinks like full Cokes and all that stuff, high fructose corn syrup, because that gets deposited in your liver. Your liver can hold a certain amount of it, but the rest is going to triglycerides, which is fat, okay? So a banana will have some sucrose or sucralose, whatever, but it will have a lot of fructose. So you're still not giving yourself enough carbs to push nutrients out into the muscles. Okay, if that's, I think, how many minutes do I have left? Mihal.
We'll give you 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes, Peter.
I had to plug myself, is it? Look, right, so I have 4 minutes. Has anyone any other questions there? I actually didn't even give you, I told you I could talk crap for hours, but that's just me. Throw your questions in. I got 4 minutes here to answer some of them, so go. Do you do podcasts? Yes, I do. I have podcasts up. If you look at my Instagram, it's just Peter O Halloran _ I have links to my podcast there, or just look up the Peter O Halloran podcast. There's a few episodes up. I haven't done any this year because of COVID. I built this studio. I have a green screen. I have built it all for podcasting to have, like Joe Rogan's studio, and then COVID hit and I'm sitting here alone. So, but I will be doing podcasts. From Michael, yeah, he's sharing it. Okay, how lactose free changing the diet? Will there be a massive change? Okay, I'm going to say this quickly. A lot of people, even this morning, 8 out of 10 clients who come to me who said they are gluten intolerant, wheat intolerant, or lactose intolerant are not intolerant. Okay, 2 of them might be out of 10. That's it. What the issue is, your digestive enzymes. And this morning, I have a client who hasn't eaten 20 years, has not eaten gluten, and now I have her back on gluten. Why? Because you might be lacking certain digestive enzymes in the stomach. Go into a health shop, get yourself digestive enzymes that are in the fridge. There must be a live culture, not probiotics. Probiotics just line the gut. Digestive enzymes break down certain foods. Take them for 4 weeks. Try the food that you're intolerant to, and you will see you will start to feel a lot better. Okay, so if that's it, and there's no, when do you recommend to drink casein shakes? Casein it breaks down slower, so take it at night before you go to bed, because that's when you repair. You're going to need the muscles or need the fuel to repair. Take casein at night, okay? There's no point taking it directly after. Whey will break down quicker. So I think that's all the time I have left, right? If you have any more questions, I do Zooms as well, and I do kind of things like this myself every so often. Just go over to my Instagram, Peter O'Halloran _ I think he has them shared up here. I'm the only one with a blue tick, so there's no other Peter O'Halloran there. Same with Twitter. I don't know much on Twitter. YouTube and Facebook. Facebook is PPT Ireland. Peter Halloran is my personal page, so I only kind of accept people I know. But yeah, look, Instagram, and if you have any questions, it doesn't matter if you're a client or not, I will always take time to answer a question, because if someone is following me and they take the time to like my stuff and share my stuff, I will take the time to answer their questions. It's as simple as that.